More than a decade has passed since Megaupload servers were raided by the US government. On that day, helicopters and the US police stormed the house of founder Kim.com. The criminal enforcement action was supposed to put the entrepreneur in the shadows, but actually quite the opposite happened. Kim first rose to fame in Germany in the 1990s as an internet entrepreneur and was convicted on charges of computer fraud in 1994. At the end of 2011, Kim.com dropped the Megaupload song. The track, a promotional piece for the file sharing site, featured some of the top artists such as P. Diddy, will.i.am, Alicia Keys, Snoop Dogg, and Kanye West. This advertisement came as a complete surprise to everyone, not just because of the sheer star power, but also because Kim.com himself wasn't particularly public at the time. Locally, the New Zealand entrepreneur enjoyed some fame, living the high life in a multi-million-dollar mansion, and in gaming circles he was a legend as well, under his nickname Mega Racer. The public at large, however, hadn't heard of him. That was about to change soon though. The police raid. On January 20th, 2012, one day before his 38th birthday, police officers stormed his home in a military-style raid. Dozens of police swooped the estate in helicopters, including several members of New Zealand's elite counter-terrorist force. .com's bodyguard Wayne Tempero later recalled that the officers were armed with assault rifles and sidearms when they entered the premises just before 7 a.m. that morning. Tempero was in handcuffs soon after. Megaupload's founder initially thought that the helicopter he heard could be guests arriving for his birthday party. However, when they knocked down the door, he realized that the situation was more threatening. There were certainly no gifts. After hearing all the noise, .com fled to a prearranged safe room in the house. He stayed in this red room, reportedly with a shotgun by his side, until police arrived. That took a while, as the officers initially targeted another door, which actually led to a broken service elevator. I heard loud banging noises. I was just scared and worried. I thought I'd better wait for them to come to me, rather than popping out and scaring someone who might shoot me, .com later said. The mega shock. While the raid was being carried out in New Zealand, law enforcement started to pull the plug on Megaupload as well. Hundreds of servers were taken offline, and other mega properties, such as Mega Video, disappeared as well. These actions soon revealed the unprecedented scale at which the site was running. In the space of a day, millions of people were left without their favorite file storage and sharing platform, forced to find a new home. This instantly boosted the traffic numbers of competitors such as Deposit Files, Upload.to, Hotfile, and RapidShare, with many others welcoming hundreds of thousands of extra visitors. Megaupload accounted for about 4% of total traffic on the internet in its heyday, as users stored and shared files containing everything from wedding videos to Hollywood films. While this traffic was welcome, the criminal charges against .com and his colleagues were seen as a major threat by these former competitors. In response, several sites canceled their payments to uploaders, and FileSonic and FileServe banned third-party downloads completely. US authorities say .com and three co-accused Megaupload executives cost film studios and record companies more than $500 million and generated more than $175 million by encouraging paying users to store and share copyrighted material, such as movies and TV shows. Needless to say, Hollywood saw Megaupload shut down as a massive success. This was corroborated by an MPA-backed study that linked Megaupload's demise to a boost in digital revenues. However, there is also research that suggests that some films were negatively impacted. Mega as a successful business. There is no denying that Megaupload was a massively successful business. Today, the US government is still trying to extradite Kim.com. However, if they had waited a little bit longer, Megaupload would have come to the US voluntarily. A few months after the raid, we spoke to Hong Kong-based corporate advisor Robert Lim, who had begun preparing Megaupload for a potential IPO and a listing on a US stock exchange. Megaupload management had discussions with a number of the Big Four largest international professional accountancy firms, which handled the vast majority of audits for publicly traded companies, Lim said at the time. The Big Four firms were invited to be the auditor and to work together with management to build out a roadmap to prepare Megaupload for an IPO. He added, instead of $1 billion IPO, the mega empire collapsed, taking the personal files of millions of people down with it. To give an idea of the scope, research from Boston's Northeastern University estimated that, aside from pirated content, at least 10.75 million legitimate files were taken offline for good. There were also attempts to make it possible for millions of former Megaupload users to retrieve their personal files. However, in recent years, there hasn't been any update on this front, and it's unlikely that this will change anytime soon. This means that former users, which included FBI and NASA employees, as well as more than 15,600 members of the US military, may never see their files again. Hundreds of mirrored servers remain safely stored as evidence. However, Kim.com. After Megaupload was destroyed, Kim.com sought the limelight more often. He joined Twitter, released music, engaged with the press, and became politically active at the highest levels. No effort was spared to make an impact. In the months after his arrest, .com and his team worked on a Megaupload successor called Mega, which launched exactly a year after the raid.
Welcome to the Mega launch.
This wasn't just a regular launch, as .com invited the international press to his home to witness a partial reenactment of the police action 12 months earlier. Again, the scale of this event was unprecedented for a file storage service. Mega, which focuses on encrypted file sharing, became an instant success and is still doing very well. However, Kim.com later resigned and moved on to focus on other ventures. This included the music service Baboom, which became inactive a few years ago. .com later announced yet another content sharing and monetization platform titled K.im. After crowdfunding close to $1 million back in 2016, progress has been slow. According to a roadmap published on the site, it was supposed to launch at the end of 2021. That didn't happen. Legal battles. Megaupload was shut down as the result of an indictment by the US Department of Justice, which accuses the Mega conspiracy of several copyright and fraud-related charges. These are still pending. Since his arrest, .com, a German national and New Zealand resident, has been barred from leaving the country or venturing more than 80 kilometers, 50 miles from his mansion, and is required to report to police twice a week. The prosecution must provide that a crime was committed in both the United States and New Zealand in order to trigger an extradition treaty between the allies. In an opinion submitted in support of .com, Harvard law professor and copyright expert Lawrence Lessing argued that Washington's case does not meet those requirements. An attempt has been made to extract facts from multiple sources and over a wide span of time, to organize a large number of otherwise disconnected facts by using systematic phraseology and to juxtapose phrases in order to create an impression of coherence and substance, Lessig wrote. However, the attempt fails to reach its goals. Thus far, only one former Megaupload employee has appeared in a U.S. court. Estonian programmer Andrus Nam, who reportedly earned $3,200 per month, pleaded guilty to criminal copyright infringement and was sentenced to a year and a day in prison. Among other things, Nam stated on the record that .com and his former colleagues knowingly profited from copyright infringement. .com himself continues to fight his extradition until this day. Together with his former colleagues, Matthias Ortman and Bram van der Kolk, the trio has been in and out of court for a decade now. In 2020, the Supreme Court of New Zealand ruled that the Megaupload trio can indeed be extradited to the United States. However, this isn't set in stone yet, as judicial reviews are still pending. In addition to the criminal prosecution, the MPA and RIAA have also filed civil suits in U.S. federal court, which remain pending until there is progress in the criminal case. How long this will take is unknown, but it could take several more years, or perhaps even another decade. In other words, mega long. .com's comeback. .com also marked the 10-year anniversary on Twitter today. He notes that despite the shutdown and all of the legal costs, piracy is still here today. And ironically, Joe Biden, the man who he holds responsible for Megaupload's demise, is now president of the United States. Meanwhile, Megaupload's successor Mega is now 3 times bigger than the original site. Mega is totally lawful, just like Megaupload was. That's evidenced by the fact that no attempt was made to shut it down, an admission that they got it wrong, .com writes. In hindsight, we often wonder whether it was a coincidence that the Megaupload song launched just a few weeks before the indictment was announced. Given all that has happened since, the PR campaign may also have been .com's first defensive play, in anticipation of what was about to come.